Have you ever met someone who seemed to know exactly what you were thinking before you even said it? Someone who could read your mood from across the room, finish your sentences, or sense when something was bothering you, even when you plastered on your best fake smile? These people exist, and they're not psychic. They're what psychologists call highly perceptive individuals. And understanding how they do it might just change the way you see human connection forever. So stick around because what I'm about to share might make you realize you're one of these people. Or maybe you know someone who is, and trust me, you're going to want to hear this. These mind readers walk among us every single day. They're your friend who always knows when you need space versus when you need a hug. They're the coworker who can sense tension in a meeting before anyone even speaks. They're the family member who calls you right when you're going through something, almost like they had a sixth sense about it. And here's the fascinating part. This ability isn't magic or supernatural at all. It's actually a combination of emotional intelligence, deep observation skills, and something researchers call effective empathy. According to a study in the journal Psychological Science, people with high emotional intelligence can accurately identify emotions as up to 73% more effectively than the average person simply by paying attention to micro-expressions, body language, and tone of voice that most of us completely miss. But what makes these people different from the rest of us? Well, it starts with how they experience the world. While most of us are caught up in our own thoughts, worries, and phone screens, these individuals are constantly scanning their environment like human radar systems. They notice the slight hesitation in your voice when you say you're fine. They catch the way your shoulders tense up when a certain topic comes up. They see how your smile doesn't quite reach your eyes when you're pretending to be happy. It's like they're watching a movie that everyone else is just listening to as background noise. They're picking up on all the subtle clues that tell the real story beneath the word speak. Here's where it gets really interesting. And this is your mid-hook, so pay close attention because this part connects to all of us. These mind readers don't just observe, they feel. When you're anxious, they feel a flutter of anxiety. When you're excited, they catch that energy. When you're hurting, something in them hurts too. It's not that they're taking on your emotions intentionally. Their brains are literally wired to mirror what's happening in yours. Scientists call these mirror neurons, and they're the reason why yawning is contagious, why we flinch when we see someone else get hurt, and why some people seem to absorb the feelings of everyone around them like an emotional sponge. This ability to feel what others feel is both their superpower and sometimes their burden. Think about how valuable this skill is in your own life. These are the people who make the best friends because they know when to check in on you. They're incredible listeners because they're not just hearing your words, they're reading everything you're not saying. They're the ones who can walk into a room and immediately sense if something's off, if there's unspoken conflict, or if someone's being left out. They're natural peacemakers because they see all sides of a situation. They understand that your anger might actually be fear, that your silence might be overwhelm, that your laughter might be covering up sadness. They see layers that most people never even know exist. But being a mind reader isn't always easy, and this is something most people don't talk about. Imagine feeling everyone's emotions all the time. Imagine walking into a crowded space and being hit with waves of stress, frustration, joy, and sadness all at once. Imagine always knowing when someone's lying to you, when someone's uncomfortable, when someone's pretending to like you but doesn't really. Imagine carrying the weight of other people's unspoken pain, because you can see it so clearly that ignoring it feels impossible. These highly perceptive people often feel exhausted by social situations that energize others. They need time alone to decompress and separate their own feelings from everyone else's. They sometimes wish they could just turn off their radar and experience the world with less intensity. What's truly remarkable is how these people develop this ability. Some are born with a naturally sensitive nervous system that makes them more attuned to subtleties in their environment. Others developed it as a survival mechanism, maybe growing up in unpredictable situations where reading the room could keep them safe. Perhaps they learned early on to monitor a parent's mood to know if it was a good day or a bad day. Maybe they had to become experts at reading people's intentions to protect themselves. Or maybe they were just naturally curious about human behavior and spent their whole lives studying people like fascinating puzzles to solve. Whatever the origin, this skill gets sharper with practice, like a muscle that strengthens the more you use it. And here's something that might blow your mind. You probably have more of this ability than you realize. Have you ever gotten a weird feeling about someone that turned out to be right? Have you ever known your best friend was upset, even through a text message? Have you ever sensed that someone was lying even though their story seemed believable? That's your own perceptive abilities at work. The difference is that these highly perceptive individuals have turned up the volume on that inner knowing. They trust their gut instincts because those instincts are based on thousands of tiny observations their conscious mind hasn't even processed yet. Their subconscious is like a supercomputer constantly analyzing data that the rest of us scroll right past. The world needs these mind readers more than ever. In an age where we communicate through screens, where we hide behind filters and curated versions of ourselves, where we say we're fine when we're falling apart, having people who can see through the masks is incredibly valuable. They remind us that we're not alone, that we're seen, that someone notices. They create deeper connections in a world that's becoming increasingly surface level. They ask the questions that actually matter instead of just making small talk. They create safe spaces where people can drop their guard and be real because they're not fooled by the performance anyway. If you recognize yourself in this description, drop a comment below and let me know. Tell me what it's like to be you, because I know it's both a gift and a challenge. Tell me if you ever wish you could turn it off, or if you've learned to love this part of yourself. And if you know someone like this in your life, smash that like button and maybe send this to them so they know they're understood. Because here's the thing, these mind readers spend so much time understanding everyone else that they often feel deeply misunderstood themselves. They give so much energy to reading others that they sometimes wonder if anyone is really seeing them. So what do we do with information? If you're one of these highly perceptive people, honor your need for boundaries. You don't have to fix everyone's problems or carry everyone's emotions. Your ability to feel deeply is beautiful, but you're allowed to protect your energy. Learn when to engage and when to step back. Surround yourself with people who appreciate this gift instead of taking advantage of it. And remember that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is let people figure things out on their own instead of always jumping in with solutions. If you're not one of these people, appreciate the mind readers in your life. They notice way more than they say. When they check in on you, be honest with them because they can tell when you're not. And maybe try to develop some of these skills yourself by putting down your phone, making eye contact, and really paying attention to the people around you. You might be surprised by what you start to notice. The truth is, we all have the capacity to become better at reading people. It just takes presence, curiosity, and genuine care for the humans sharing this planet with us. It means asking better questions and actually listening to the answers. It means noticing when someone's energy shifts and caring enough to ask why. It means remembering that everyone's fighting battles we know nothing about, and sometimes the kindest thing we can do is simply pay attention. Because at the end of the day, being seen truly seen is one of the most powerful experiences a human being can have. And those people who see you, who really get you without you having to explain everything, they're rare and precious and deserve to be celebrated. So go ahead and like this if it resonated with you. Comment your thoughts below, and let's start a conversation about this incredible human ability that connects us all in ways we're only beginning to understand.